Hungarian author Laszlo Krasnoarkai has won the 2025 Nobel Prize for Literature.
At least 5 people have been killed over the past day in Russian attacks as Moscow launched an overnight barrage of 112 drones.
U.S. President Donald Trump announced that Israel and Hamas have agreed to a deal to implement the first phase of his Gaza peace plan. U.S. President Donald Trump announced in the early hours of Thursday that Israel and Hamas have agreed on the first phase of his Gaza peace plan. The announcement came as negotiators from both sides completed the third day of indirect peace talks in the Egyptian resort city of Sharm el-Sheikh. Trump revealed in a post on Truth Social that all remaining hostages Hamas holds in Gaza will be returned. Israel has also agreed to withdraw its troops to an agreed-upon line in the first step of this deal. Trump's first phase of the plan also includes an immediate cessation of hostilities and the commencement of major aid replenishment operations, but it's not yet clear when those are scheduled to begin. Earlier, Trump was interrupted by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio as he attended a press briefing, giving him a note which read, quote, "You need to approve a Truth Social post soon, so you can announce the deal first."
I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East, and they're going to need me pretty quickly. Thank you all. We're going to get peace in the Middle East. That's what we want to do. Thank you very much, everybody.
The news has been warmly received by former hostages and the families of current hostages across Israel. Palestinians also warmly welcome the news and have expressed joy that their suffering may soon end. Various world leaders have also taken to social media to welcome the deal.
Israelis and Palestinians rejoiced on Thursday after a ceasefire and hostage deal was announced under the first part of a US-backed initiative to end the war in Gaza.
You did it! You did it!
Hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
Under the deal, Israel will partially withdraw from Gaza. Hamas will free the remaining hostages captured in the Gaza Strip in exchange for prisoners held by Israel. The release of 20 hostages still believed to be alive in Gaza is expected on Monday. Another 26 hostages have been declared dead, and the whereabouts of 2 are unknown. In Gaza, the news was met with applause, joy, and hope that this ceasefire would last.
أكيد شعور بالفرح إن سنتين في هذه الحرب وفي هذه المعاناة. طبعا أول ما سمعنا بالخبر ما صدقناش من الفرحة. تأكدنا من الخبر. هلقيت بننتظر اللي هو حيز تنفيذ إنه الخبر يدخل حيز التنفيذ على أساس إنه توقف هذه الحرب توقف هذه المعاناة وهذه الإبادة الجماعية اللي بتصير في غزة.
The World Food Programme said there was no time to waste in allowing international aid to reach the Gaza Strip, where it says more than 500,000 people are trapped in famine.
إن غزة اتدمرت وانتهت. وإن شاء الله هذه المرة حتكونوا صادقين وهتخلص بإذن الله.
The agreement, which has been endorsed by both Hamas and Israel, is expected to be signed on Thursday.
Europe welcomed the agreement reached between Israel and Hamas overnight to secure a ceasefire and to release hostages held in Gaza. Many leaders stressed that this deal must be a first step towards a two-state solution, something which Israel has repeatedly rejected. Although the EU has been lambasted as irrelevant by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a recent interview with Euronews, the European Commission says the EU has a role to play.
The EU is well positioned to contribute to President Trump's peace plan. The EU High Representative has also been quite clear about that we have an important role to play and that we should also be part of that. This due to our consistent political and also financial support to both Israel and also the Palestinian Authority and the Palestinian people, as well as regional integration.
The President of the European Commission said the EU will keep supporting the delivery of humanitarian aid into Gaza, while ensuring the EU will be ready to help with recovery and reconstruction. The President of the European Council, Antonio Costa, stated this opportunity must be used to lay the foundation for a lasting peace and called for a two-state solution. For his part, French President Emmanuel Macron also reiterated calls for the two-state solution. This first phase of a peace plan, announced by US President Donald Trump, provides for the release of the remaining 20 living Israeli hostages. It also includes the condition that Israel will release almost 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, allow the delivery of some aid into Gaza, and withdraw its troops from most of the Strip.
The European Commission has launched an internal probe into reports that Hungarian intelligence services tried to recruit EU employees in Brussels as informants. According to an investigation, undercover agents posing as diplomats at Hungary's permanent representation allegedly targeted Hungarian staff inside EU institutions to gain access to sensitive files.
Actions. Now, this is a matter of operational security, which is why, as usual, I won't be able to comment much, but what I can say is that we will be setting up an internal group to look into these allegations.
The Commission says it takes the claims seriously and is taking measures to protect staff and information from illicit intelligence gathering activities. The report said the network operated under the diplomatic cover of Hungary's EU mission between 2012 and 2018. The mission was at the time led by Oliver Varnelyi, who is now the European Commissioner for Health. When asked by Euronews, the Commission said no such allegations existed in 2019 when Varhelyi was vetted for his post. The European Parliament has not commented on the case, but says it continues to monitor security risks.
At least 5 people have been killed over the past day in Russian attacks as Moscow launched an overnight barrage of 112 drones over Ukraine, according to regional authorities. 3 of the victims were in the Sumy region as it came under dozens of attacks, local authorities said. One local resident of Stepanvika, a settlement in the Sumy region, described the attack.
І тоді почали 17 підряд було. Тоді трохи перерив і в час ще 3. Шахеди, да. Тільки різних бойових начинок. Там, мабуть, були 50 і 90, тому що хлопки були одні сильніші, а другі.
The 2 other victims died in attacks on the region of Kherson, according to Governor Alexander Produkin. The southern port city of Odessa endured a heavy night of Russian bombing. At least 5 people were injured and fires broke out across the city, according to Ukraine's emergency service. As Ukraine's armed forces said they repelled 87 of the drones, but 22 of them still hit 12 locations. French President Emmanuel Macron will name a new Prime Minister by Friday, according to the Élysée Palace, as outgoing Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu dismissed the possibility of parliamentary elections. During an interview with local media, Lecornu also ruled out his return to the premiership, but said he believes there's a way forward politically on certain conditions.
C'est que j'ai désormais l'intime conviction que l'équipe qui devra prendre les responsabilités dans les temps à venir, quelle qu'elle soit, quel que soit le choix du président de la République, devra être une équipe qui est complètement déconnectée des ambitions présidentielles pour 2027.
While some of Macron's former allies have called on him to step down after passing the 2026 budget, Lecornu firmly rejected the idea. The Prime Minister resigned abruptly on Monday after less than a month in office and less than 24 hours after naming a new government. The decision prompted the Republicans, a key coalition ally, to withdraw their support.
'cause my ring is a pearl. Sun swallowed by clouds.